Welcome to the economy of the collapse. Bienvenue à l'économie du déclin. Why millions of workers need multiple jobs while asset owners get richer. For much of the 20th century, the promise was simple. Work hard, get a job, buy a home, raise a family, build a future. It was not easy, but for millions of people, it was possible. Today, something has changed. Millions of Americans are now working multiple jobs, and hundreds of thousands are not just doing a weekend side hustle. They are working 2 full-time jobs, 2 schedules, 2 bosses, 2 sets of expectations, and almost no margin left for sleep, family, health, church, children, marriage, community, or even rest. So when we hear that the economy is strong, we need to ask a much better question. It's strong for whom? Because if someone has to work 2 jobs just to afford one life, that is not a strong economy. At least not for these guys. It's a pressure economy. There was a time when one income could often support a family. One worker could often buy a home, own a car, raise children, save money, and build a stable middle-class life. Then the economy changed. More women entered the workforce, which brought real gain, to be sure. For them, freedom, autonomy, income, education, opportunity. But even if that is really nice, the economy has something else happening. The household moved from 1 income to 2 income. And at first, the second income was an advantage. Wow, very nice. Then the market adjusted. Banks saw 2 income, so was the government, with double taxation. Mortgage lenders saw more borrowing capacity, and house price adjusted very rapidly. Consumer expectation adjusted, and the cost of life adjusted. And eventually, what used to be an advantage became just a requirement. So the first stage was 1 income could support a family. The second stage was 2 incomes were needed to maintain the same lifestyle. And now, in the third stage, even 2 incomes are not enough. So people need to add overtime, side hustles, second job, gig work, night shift, weekend work. This is the new economy. Not 1 job for 1 life. 2 jobs to finance 1 life. That is not prosperity, that is exhaustion. And the reason is not hard to understand. The normal life became more expensive. Why? Housing has increased, groceries, insurance, vehicle, childcare, utilities, debt payment, rent, mortgages. The price of the normal life has moved faster than the normal paycheck. So people work more, not to become rich, not to live luxuriously as they see on Facebook and Instagram, but simply to keep the math from collapsing. And housing is the center of the crisis. Because housing is not like food or clothing. You cannot instantly produce millions of homes. Housing supply is slow, very slow. To build housing, you need lots of things, and some of them depends on the government, which is, by its nature, very slow too. You need land, you need permit, you need zoning approval, you need financing, you need infrastructure to bring water and sewer there, material, worker, municipal capacity to deliver on those permits and the inspection and the survey needed time, and at the same time, government can increase population quickly, like in a year, 1.3 million. You haven't even started to build these new units that there's another 1.3 million coming in. But it cannot build a city quickly. People arrive super fast, and housing arrives very slowly. And that delay creates the whole crisis. This is where public policy becomes central and creating this manufactured crisis. When a country brings in a large number of new residents quickly, of course, demand rise immediately because these new people, they need apartment, home, school, hospital, road, transit, childcare. job and all, but the housing stock does not expand immediately. It can take years. So the demand shock happens right now. Every time a newcomer across the border. But the supply response happens later. And it's not just the unit, it's even the infrastructure to allow new unit to be produced. I mean, you need to build these water lines and the sewage and wastewater treatment capacity. And that takes a lot of time. And that lag push rent and housing price upward dramatically. It's not complicated. If housing demand rise faster than housing supply, price rise. And when housing is already expensive, that pressure becomes brutal, like literally brutal. The labor market can often adjust faster than housing, but it's not true for the other way around. Employer can hire quickly. Workers can enter low-wage or mid-wage sector quickly. In some industries, a larger labor supply can even reduce pressure for wage to rise, which is very beneficial, those public policy for these big manufacturing sector. It's beneficial for the landowner. It's beneficial for the rental market owner. It's beneficial for the homeowner. It's beneficial for those involved in the infrastructure sector. Like if you think about Brookfield, stock is going up steadily, which Mark Carney was involved with. But it's not good for everybody. And to be sure, we're not saying here that every immigrant lower wages. That would be way too simplistic. Because newcomers also consume, create demand, pay taxes, start businesses, and contribute. But when population growth is faster than housing growth, and when labor supply rise faster than wage growth, the result can become a trap for the working class. More people competing for housing. That's it. More pressure on infrastructure. We see it every day. More pressure on wage in certain sector. Tell me about it. More pressure on families. Again, same thing. And the worker gets squeezed from both sides. His wage is not increasing, but housing is increasing and everything else. Costs rise, wages lag. So the second jobs become the escape valve. And that's what we are seeing in the data now. This is where the divide becomes even sharper. A homeowner who bought a year ago may have equity and is benefiting from this public policy right now. And they may have options because of that. They can refinance, use like a home equity line of credit. They can restructure debt, borrow against the property, sell and capture capital gain and whatnot. A renter does not have those options at all. The renter his only asset is his labor. So when costs rise, the owner may use capital to offset it and smooth his consumption curve. But the renter must use time. That means more hours, more shift, more job, more exhaustion. We created an economy where assets work for the owner, while workers have to work more because they do not own the asset. And while worker takes a young job, asset owner become richer. Real estate rise, stock rise, private equity rise, financial asset rise. Those who own the asset benefit from the crisis, and who are in power, who are drafting those public policy. Higher housing price hurt first, and they hurt first-time buyers. But they increase the wealth of existing owner. Higher rents hurt tenant, but they increase income for landlord. Asset inflation make life harder for people trying to enter the system, but it reward those already inside it. This is how the middle class begin to disappear. And if you look at who are in elected position, usually they are benefiting from this. And here is the uncomfortable question. So for most, from the housing crisis, it's the young people, it's the renters, the low-income families, first-time buyers, worker without asset. But who benefit from rising property value? Existing homeowner, real estate investor, asset holder, landlord. Financial institution. This does not require a big conspiracy theory, right? It only requires an understanding of incentives. And in economic, incentives actually do matter. Always. If the most politically powerful group benefit from rising asset values, then we should not be surprised when the system struggles to make housing truly affordable, and that housing crisis seems to have been there for the last 40 years. Because true affordability would require price to stop rising or even fall, and that would hurt the balance sheet of many people who already own property, and many of them are in power. For many older households, the home is not just a shelter, it is their retirement now. Their saving, their inheritance, their security, their identity. So government face a big contradiction. They say they want affordable housing, but they also want to protect the value of the existing homes, which are a large part of their voting base. They want high immigration, but they also want to lower rent. They want growth, but they also want stability. They want asset value to rise, but they want young people to afford it. These goals, they're not always compatible. Historically, the middle class was built on a simple
J'ai du mal
idea.
vous comprendre. Essayez de me vanter à nouveau.
Historically, the middle class was built on a simple idea. Work could become ownership. You work it, you save, you bought a home, you build wealth. Today that pathway is breaking. Work increasingly pays the bill, barely. Ownership now built the wealth. That is a massive civilizational shift. The middle class disappears when labor can no longer realistically become ownership. And that is exactly what many people are experiencing. This is not just about economic. It changed family life. When people need 2 income, 2 jobs, or 3 total jobs in a household, what disappear? Time, rest, marriage, children, community, church health. A society cannot keep demanding more work from people and then act surprised when birth rates fall drastically. Marriage weaken, loneliness rise with all of the very, very bad consequences that we are seeing socially. Mental health decline, which leads to many problems also. Sometimes we see them on the news. Families delay children, which creates also problem later on in terms of natality. And people feel exhausted. An economy should support life. Life should not exist merely to support the economy so that only a few can get massively richer. It's very hard for the working class to see all of these people on their big yacht telling them, oh, just work harder. You don't work hard enough. If you would work as hard as me, you would have a yacht and blah, blah, blah. Sadly, that's not possible in this economy. So when politicians say the economy is strong, we need to ask, for whom? For you? Is it strong for the stock market? For asset owner? Is it strong for Brookfield? For homeowner who bought 20 years ago? For Mark Carney? For his cabinet? For billionaires? For banks? Or is it strong for the worker sitting in a car between shift, eating dinner from a wrapper, wondering how long he can keep doing this? Because GDP can rise as much as you want, while quality of life falls for the majority. The stock market can hit records while family collapse under pressure, and natality it's so low that it leads the civilization to extinction, as it is below replacement level. Unemployment can look low while millions of people need multiple jobs to survive. That is the illusion. The rise of the multiple job economy is not just a labor market story. It is a housing story. It is an immigration policy story. It is an asset inflation story full of conflict of interest in a middle class, in a dream, an American dream collapse story. It is the story of an economy where population can grow quickly. Housing supply moves slowly. Wage lag behind costs. Renters are trapped. Owners are protected by assets and workers are forced to sell more of their time. That is the economy of the collapse. Not because everything collapsed overnight, but because the normal life becomes harder and harder to afford. A healthy economy should allow one person to live one life. But when millions of workers need two jobs to afford one life, while asset owners become richer than ever, the problem is not the worker. The problem is the economy itself.